Hi children, how are you all? Hope you're good. Okay, I'm Dr. Ravi Chitakari, PGT in Botany, working in TS Model School. My YouTube channel is Dr. Ravi Chitakari PGT Botany. Please subscribe it, like and share and comment the different videos. In this session, I'm going to explain about the chapter number 2, that is respiration. Okay, in the previous classes, we discussed about the nutrition chapter. Here I'm going to explain about the respiration. So which is an energy producing system. Okay, it is also most important chapter in the SSC syllabus. Okay, coming to the nutrition, every organism, either it may be the unicellular or maybe the multicellular. So it need food for their growth and development. Okay, the unicellular and multicellular organisms that shows the various kinds of activities, and for that activities they require the food. Already we discussed how the unicellular and multicellular organisms are taking the food material. Okay, so after the taking of the food material, the organisms are involved in the digestion process. So in the digestion, complex molecules, so which are converted into the simple molecules by the various enzymes, action of various enzymes. Okay, after the food provide energy for all body activities in both unicellular and multicellular organisms only after the breakdown of a process. Okay, that process is known as respiration. Okay, so here the organism take the food material that is digested and enter into the cell. Okay, in the cell, the digested food particles, so which are undergo breakdown through a special process. That process is known as respiration. Okay, so here the respiration leads to the final utilization of the food. So in the nutrition, the food means the complex food material which are undergo breakdown to form in a simple food particles or simple food materials. So for example, if we take in a starch, so that starch is undergo digestion process and that is converted into the glucose. So when the glucose is entered into the cell, the glucose molecule is undergo breakdown through the process of respiration. So when it is undergo breakdown, at the time it releases the energy. That energy is used for the different body activity in both unicellular and multicellular organisms. Okay, so the food particles are mainly undergo breakdowns in the presence of oxygen. Okay, so in the presence of oxygen, the food particles, so which are undergo breakdown and release the energy, so in the form of ATP. Okay, so that energy is utilized for the conducting of many activities by both unicellular and multicellular organisms. Okay, so in the term respiration, which is derived from the Latin word, so the Latin word is respire. So the respire means to breathe. Okay, so breathing, the word already you listen, so which mean the taking of gases from the external and internal environment, and also releasing the gases from the internal body to the external, so which is commonly called as breathing. So the respiration word derived from the Latin word, so the Latin word is respire, so which means to breathe, to breathe. Okay, coming to the discovery of gases and respiration, nothing but it is an air. So history of the respiration experiments. Okay, in term, the respiration came into use a century after the word breathing was used, way back in the 14th century. So in the 14th century, the term respiration is not used. So after that, a century, the respiration word is used. So here, so it was used much before the people knew about that the air is a mixture of gases. So the word using the respiration and breathing at the time, the people didn't know about the air is a mixture of gases. Okay, they hardly knew about all the life processes that took place in the living organism. So even a living body, so that do not perform the different kinds of the metabolic activities is not known by the people. So in the year, so in the 14th era of the 14th century. Okay, so the commonly the in the 14th century, the respiration word, so which is used as in a medical term, so usually refer to the process of involving of process of air and production of body heat. Okay, so in the 14th century, the people and scientists doesn't know, so didn't know about the gases is in a mixture, and also the respiration is in a process that produce the passes of air and also production of body heat. Okay, so later the many scientists conducted many kind of experiments related to the respiration. So here the main scientists, that is Lavoisier and Priestley. Okay, already we discussed Priestley experiments in the nutrition chapter. So here in the 18th century, Lavoisier and Priestley were conducted several experiments to know about the properties of gases and exchange of the gases in the respiration. Okay, so these two scientists conducted very experiments. Okay, those experiments are reveals that the property of gases and as well as the exchange of gases in the respiration. Okay, so after that, so we knew something about how the gases or exchanges go on in our body only. Okay, so the Lavoisier is also carried out several experiments to understand the property of gases. Okay, the Lavoisier is an important scientist, so he was conducted many experiments regarding to the knew of property of the gases and as well as the how the gases is exchanged in our body. So in his early experiment, so he thought that the gas rebellited on the heating powder charcoal in a bell jar. So kept up the water in a trough was like a fixed air. So first, so he taken a charcoal bowl. Okay, so that bowl is mainly covered with a bell jar, and the total setup was kept into the water. So of the charcoal burning, so the charcoal releases the some gas. So when it is burning, it releases the gas. So that gas, nothing but it is called as a fixed air. Gas is nothing but it is a fixed air. So we taken a charcoal and placed in a bowl, and it burn the charcoal and that covered with a bell jar, and the total experiment kept out the water. Okay, so when the charcoal is burning, so it produces an air or gas. So that air or gas is known as fixed air. So in those days, the carbon dioxide was known as a fixed air. So at the time, so the Lavoisier not known about, so it is in a carbon dioxide. So later it is named that fixed air is named as a carbon dioxide. Okay. So in the next series of experiment, so he deal with the combustion of phosphorus. So in the first experiment, so he took the charcoal and burned it, and it released the gas. That gas is nothing but it is in a fixed air. So those days the carbon dioxide was known as a fixed air. So instead of charcoal, so he was taking phosphorus. Okay, so in the combustion of phosphorus in a bell jar, okay, from these studies, so actually the atmospheric air, so which was combined with the phosphorus, was not in a water vapor. Okay, when the phosphorus is burned, so the phosphorus is released some gas into the air. So at the same time, so the air component, either it air itself or any another elastic fluid that present in the certain proportion in the air, so that is combines with the phosphorus and the phosphorus is burned. Okay, so he concluded that the substance which combines with the phosphorus. Okay, so when he burned the phosphorus, so the phosphorus is burning. So due to this, so while this burning of the phosphorus, some of the air substances that are mixed with the that are combined with the phosphorus. So the substance which combines with the phosphorus, either it is air or any elastic fluid that present in the certain proportion in the air. So that air only we breathe here. Okay, so that air is also called as the respirable air. Respirable air. Okay, the air is in a mixture of gases. So in that air, some proportion of the air, so which is used for the helped for the burning, which is used for the help for the burning of many substances. That burning helpful gas, that nothing but it is called as a respirable air, that which we breathe. Okay, so the air that we breathe out made lime water milky. So whenever we release the air or we breathe out the air, so the breathe out air that convert the lime water into the milky white color. Milky white color. So and he noted that the fixed air is also made lime water milky. So whatever the air we released or we breathe out, that air convert the lime water into the milky white. So similarly, so the fixed air, when the charcoal is burning at the time, so the charcoal release the fixed air. That fixed air is also having a property, so that can convert the lime water into the milky whitey. Milky whitey. So during the phosphorus experiment, so the phosphorus is combined with the air component. Okay, either it is an entire air itself or any particular proportion of the air. So that is helpful for the burning of the phosphorus. So that air only which we breathe, so which is called as respirable air. So here you remember the two words mainly. One is a fixed air and second one is a respirable air. So when the levoiser burn the charcoal, it releases the gas that is called as fixed air. So now it is called as a carbon dioxide. So when the phosphorus is burning, so some proportion of the air is mixed with the phosphorus and thus proportionate is called as respirable air, and that air is only used for the helped in burning process. So these two, so he drew immediately the logical conclusion regarding the process of respiration. Either eminently the respirable air is changed in lungs to fixed air. Okay, so whenever we take the breathe, so the air is entered into the lungs. The air is entered into the lungs. So in the lungs, so the respirable air. So respirable air is in a some proportionate that present in the air. So that respirable air that converted or changed into the fixed air in our lung. Okay, or exchanges takes place. So whenever we take the air, so our lungs takes place the exchange, so which means so some proportion of the air is absorbed by the lungs, and that nothing but it is a respirable air is absorbed, and almost the equal amount of the fixed air is released from the lungs. So for example, we take some amount of air. So in that some amount of air, what is present? The respirable air component is present. That is absorbed by the lungs. So the same amount of the component of that respirable air that is absorbed, and the same amount or same or equal volume of the fixed air is given up to the air from the lungs. So finally he concluded, so with the conducting of that experiment. Okay, so here the a few lines from the textbook Human Physiology written by the chemist Jane Draper scientist around the mid 19th century. So finally the chief materials which was used with the living beings receives. So what the chief material we receive here? So the chief material or nothing but it is an carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and etc that are especially used for the living condition or living being conditions of the human being, or not only the human being, any kind of organism. Okay, so that matter can be burnt. That matter can be burned inside the body in the presence of oxygen gas, and also presence of the water. So in the presence of water and oxygen inside the body, whatever the material that contains, so that material is undergo burn process. So of the burn of that material in the presence of oxygen and water, so it releases the water and as well as oxides of the carbon, phosphorus and sulfur other. Okay, so they are the physical and as well as the biochemical phenomena that shows the life arises. Okay, so the chief material, so which is used for the living being, so that can be burned in the presence of water and oxygen. Water and oxygen. So this water and oxygen action upon another material, so by the physical phenomenon or chemical phenomenon, so finally they expels out of water and as well as the oxides of the carbons and phosphorus and sulfur and another. Okay, so this statement was given by the John Draper. So he was a chemist, so in the 19th century. Okay, so here, so the role of the compounds and elements and process of respiration is not known by the scientist mid of the 19th century. So because of the respiration is a very complex process. Okay, so that's why the role of compounds and elements, so in the process of respiration was not known, so by the any scientist up to the until the mid of the 19th century. So but many scientists, So that believed that so there was a relationship in between the heat produced in the body and the process of respiration. So in the process of respiration, so we take the air inhale, and which is entered into the body, and at the same time the body produces the heat. Okay, that's why the scientists believe that there is a relationship in between the heat produced in the body and as well as the process of respiration. Okay, so now coming to that, the steps in respiration. Steps in respiration. Okay, actually there are no strict determination of steps involved in the process of respiration. So because of it is a very complex process, very complex process. So in this complex process, several physical and also biochemical processes are involved. So for example, the breathing is a physical process. So with the physical activity, we inhale the air and we exhale the air. So after that, inhale the air, so the air is entered into the lungs and it undergoes different biochemical reactions or different biochemical process. The air is mixed with the hemoglobin, and that hemoglobin that release the oxygen into the cell, and the cell in the presence of mitochondria, the oxygen is combined with that food material like glucose, and the glucose undergo breakdown and release the energy in the form of ATP. And this is nothing but it is in a biochemical process. So that's why the respiration is in a very complex process that consists of both the physical and biochemical processes, both physical and biochemical process. So but for the general understanding what goes on, so we study under the following heads. Okay, so that nothing but it is in a steps in respiration. So coming to the first step, okay, what it is? Breathing. Okay, I already told you. So the breathing, nothing but it is an air movement into the and out of the lungs. So when we breathe, the air is entered into the lung. So when we breathe out, the air come out from the lungs. So this physical process is called as breathing. Okay, inhaling and exhaling of air, so into the body and out of the lungs. That nothing but it is called as a breathing. So it is in the first steps in the respiration. Okay, after that breathing, what do you mean? After that inhaling of the gases, so the gas is entered into the lungs. So now the gases exchange takes place at the lungs level. Okay, so here the exchange of the gases between the alveoli and blood. When we breathe in or when we inhale the gas, so the lungs are filled with the gas. So in that gas, so the useful gas, that nothing but it is an oxygen is undergo exchange. So in between the alveoli and blood vessels. So we discussed that later what is alveoli and blood vessels, how they are connected. So we will discuss in the next class. So alveolis are not nothing but it is in a small units that present in the lungs. So these are nothing but they are structural and functional unit of the lungs, alveolis. Okay, these alveolis are filled with the air. So the oxygen that exchanged from the alveoli and that finally reached into the blood and combined with the hemoglobin. So this is a second step. Okay, so the second step is nothing but it is a gaseous exchange at lungs level. So the lungs filled with the air, so that air contain oxygen, so it is exchanged from alveoli to the blood. So that nothing but it is gases exchange at lungs level. So now after that, the gas is exchanged at lungs level. The gas may nothing but it is an oxygen that enter into the blood. Now that oxygen is transported by the blood, so it is in a third step. Okay, at the transport of gas, nothing but it is an O2 from the blood capillaries of alveoli to the body cells, and also written off CO2. Okay, so when the oxygen is entered into the blood capillaries of the lung cell, nothing but alveolus, and it can carry from alveolar blood capillary to the body cells. So in the body cells, the hemoglobin that release the oxygen into the body cell and receive the carbon dioxide. So now the fourth step is in a gases exchange at the tissue level. So here the exchange of O2 from the blood into the cells and CO2 from the cells to the blood. So after the carrying of oxygen from the blood capillaries to the body cells, so in the body cells the hemoglobin that contain the oxygen molecule. So now the oxygen molecule that enter into the cells from the blood, and as well as the hemoglobin molecules are also receive the carbon dioxide from the cell. So release the oxygen and receive the carbon dioxide from the tissue level. But nothing but it is called as a gaseous exchange at tissue level. And the final step, and it is a very important step, that nothing but it is a cellular respiration. Okay, so whenever the hemoglobin release the O2 molecule that reached into the cell. So in the cell, these O2 molecules undergo life process or cell process and to produce the carbon dioxide and also release the water. Along with the carbon dioxide and water, in the process we release the energy, okay, in the form of chemical. Okay, that chemical energy is used for the life process, so in the ultimate goal for the respiration is to produce the energy, so which is used for the various kind of metabolic activities that shown by the organism. So this is a final step of the cellular respiration. So the first one is a breathing, and second one is a gaseous exchange at lungs level, and third one gaseous transport by the blood, and fourth one gaseous exchange at the tissue level, and fifth one is a cellular respiration. Okay, so in the next session we will go to discuss about the pathway of air, so how the air is entered into the body. So from the nose to tiny cells, and each and every cell that present in the body. So that we will discuss in the next class.